Hi everyone, today we're going to be looking at the colony morphology of 4 different organisms. We're going to be working with Enterococcus faecalis, Staphylococcus aureus, Klebsiella pneumoniae, and Pseudomonas aeruginosa as our model organisms. The primary characteristics we're going to be looking at today are shape, margin, elevation, size, and pigmentation. So starting with E. faecalis, we can see that these colonies are round in shape and that their margin is entire, which means that there are no irregularities on the edges of each of the individual colonies. It's smooth around the entire edge. If we open it up, we can see that the colonies are raised off of the surface of the agar. That's in reference to their elevation. For size, each of these individual colonies would be punctiform, which are about the size of the tip of a needle. So these are going to be our smallest colonies that we're looking at today. And as for pigmentation, these colonies do not produce any pigment that's water-soluble and can enter the media or color on their own growth. Moving on, here is our Staphylococcus aureus colonies. Just like Enterococcus faecalis, these are both round and entire in their shape and margin respectively. If we open the plate up, we can see that the colonies are convex, which is slightly more than a raised colony in the elevation. Size, these colonies would be described as small, so they are slightly larger than the punctiform colonies of the E. faecalis, but they are still small when compared to the majority of bacterial colonies. And then as for pigmentation, this does not produce a pigment that is water soluble in the media, however it does produce a yellow coloration to each of its colonies. Next we have our Klebsiella pneumoniae. The general shape of these colonies is going to be round. However, when you look at the margins, we do begin to see some undulate, which is those slight protrusions on the edges of the colonies. And then opened up, we can see a slightly better view of those edges. The elevation on these colonies is going to be raised. They're only slightly coming off the top of the agar. The size is going to be moderate. And as for pigmentation, this does not produce any pigmentation in the media or on its own colonies. Finally, this is our Pseudomonas aeruginosa. In general, their shape is more similar to being round, however, it does seem to be edging on the side of being irregular. Its margins, although difficult to see, they are going to be undulate. If I open it up, we can see that the elevation is flat. These are not raised off the surface of the agar at all. And then for size, I would call these moderate as well. Pigment, the colonies themselves don't produce a noticeable color. However, they do produce a water-soluble pigment called pyocyanin that causes this green coloration to the agar.